First, I want to call up, because my heart is with the people who are hurting. So all of the families, we won't necessarily speak for too long tonight, because I have a lot of performers that are here to perform this evening, but I did want to call all of the families up that have lost loved ones up here to the podium, just so we can all be standing up here in solidarity. So if you've lost a loved one at the hands of law enforcement here in Minnesota, please do come up and stand with me right now. And we won't speak for too long, but we really just want this to be a time where we just sit back and enjoy this evening. So anybody who's lost a loved one, please come up with me right now.
Help the old lady up. You ain't old, you ain't your prime. Say that, I ain't old, I'm in my prime. Say that, sweetheart, I love it.
So these are all of the families we have here with us this evening. We have the, well, you know what, I'll pass the microphone, they can say who they are on their own. We'll first start with the mother of Philando Castile.
Thank you all for coming this evening. I'm Valerie Castile. I'm Philando Castile's mother. He was murdered 2016. A lot of you heard about that, but we're still fighting that this guy is rearrested and charged with what he should initially been charged with. God knows what happened, and I have faith that he will be rearrested. And thank you all for coming out.
Thank you, Mama Valerie. Thank you. Now we have the father of Noah Kelley, who was just killed not too long ago this year, or last year.
So I'm Brian Kelley. My son was Noah Kelley. He was murdered on November 28th, 2021. He was a father, had a brand new baby girl, and the two police that came in and shot him with assault rifles were just let go. They were never arrested. It was just the Attorney General just determined that they would not be pressing charges against these two men that came in and brutally murdered my son. We're trusting in a whole other circumstances regarding how these things change, and each and every one of us is going to have to put hands and feet in to making a difference in the society, because this is too much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mother.
Thanks, Brian.
Bluetooth disconnected.
We have the mother of Daunte Wright, Katie Wright, with us.
I want to first say thank you so much. I see so many faces out here that I've seen on many occasions. And you guys honestly give us the strength and the power to continue to fight for all stolen lives. So thank you. My name is Katie Wright. I am Daunte Wright's mom. My son was murdered April 11th of 2021 by Brooklyn Center police officer Kim Potter. We were able to watch her sit through trial and sentencing, but unfortunately she's only doing 16 months for my son's murder. So she will be out next year at this time. I want to say that we got some sort of accountability, because there's many families that we stand with every single day that has not even gotten that. But we're going to continue to fight, and we're always going to scream our loved ones' names in order to gain that accountability for all of our families. Thank you.
Thank you, Katie. We will now have the mother of Demetrius Hill, killed in 1997.
I am so grateful to see all these beautiful faces. My son Demetrius Hill was killed in April 28th of 1997. And those who don't know, he was shot in the back going upstairs in my mother and father's apartment building. It's been 26 years, and there's been justice, because 10 years later, the officer that shot my son, he got shot in the back. So I'm one of the ones that kept going. I got justice once I let it go. But we still fight, and I fight this solidarity with every last one of you ladies and men and gentlemen that have lost their son or their daughter through police brutality. I am still fighting for the rights, for the truth. You know, they released my son's items from the chain of custody. I decided to have it broken, but it was spoiled when I got it. So what I'm seeking is the truth, to find out what happened to some of the things that were supposed to be in his items, because a lot of it came up missing. And so that's what's going to be my next step in life, and still stand with solidarity with all you ones that lost your loved ones through police violence. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Murray. We will now have the mother of Marcoz Paramo, who was my son's best friend, his mother, Taya Giles. Thank you.
Thanks, Sheriff. This is always hard for me when I speak because it's still new when my son was just a baby. I want to thank everybody here. I could not have gotten this far without any of you. This is the hardest thing that anybody should have to go through. And then at the hands of police. And then they criticize your children because of what they've done. It's hurtful. It's hurtful. And they've been doing this for a long time. And I don't know if any of you are aware, but Tashira caught him red-handed. They had our children detained in Maplewood. Just 6 months after they killed my 14-year-old son, they had my 12-year-old baby. And it's like the grace of God that it happened. Unfortunately, it happened. But it happened for a reason, to expose these police. That's why it happened. And God does know what's right and what's wrong. And He is looking after all of us. As hard it is for me, I wake up to God, I go to sleep to God, and I go to church. And like the Lord said, He gave His one and only begotten Son.
Yes.
And I had to give mine up in order to be here and have the people hear my voice, to stand with you guys, to help all of us be heard. And I thank everybody for standing by me and helping me fight the fight.
Thank you, Tanya. Thank you. We will now have the significant other of George Floyd, Courtney Ross.
Hey, good evening, y'all. Just like Katie said, like looking across this room, all I see is love and support. And without all of this, I don't think any of us could be standing here today. 2 years ago, at 9 o'clock in the morning, my entire life changed. I lost the love of my life. And I lost a part of me that I will never get back. But what was gained in this group is from God. I even have said many times, before I met Floyd, I struggled with my spirituality. I struggled with God. I was angry with God. And He waited for me. And this group right here is proof of that. I am listening to a lot of the families and listening to their pain, and us not getting a lot of results from the courts and not getting any accountability held. And what I'm learning more and more as I educate myself is we've got to change these laws, y'all.
Yes.
We can't, there's nothing we can do if these people aren't breaking the law. What we know they are. We know what they're doing is completely wrong. But when we have these books that these lawmakers turn to and they say, well, that's not, no. It's law.
And qualified immunity.
Yes, thank you, preach. Yes, President Biden passed the executive order for the George Floyd Policing Act, but if we lose the race in a couple of years to a Republican, that's gonna be gone anyways. So, once again, like Congress didn't pass that law, if we don't have it in black and white in these books, then we're not gonna make changes. So I'm just gonna encourage y'all, like, whether you were like me, a novice, and didn't really know what you're getting into, join all of us when we go to the Capitol. I was kind of scared at first and I didn't know exactly what I was doing, but I'm still trying, and our voices do make a difference. And thanks, y'all, from the bottom of my and Floyd's heart, for sure.
We will now call forward the mother of Jaffort Smith. And this story is really interesting because they just, CUAPB just did a reinvestigation, so we will be bringing to light his story and doing a press conference for this family. And found out that none of the bullets were actually Jeffords. All of the bullets were the police, and they shot at where this residential home was and everything. So this is his mother, Matilda Smith. Thank you.
Hello, guys. Hello again. How you doing? Glad to see you all and blessed to have all of you. May 9th, 2016, my life changed, and it almost ended my life. Losing a child is one of the worst burdens a mother could ever have to go through. It put me in a place where I couldn't speak. I couldn't breathe. I'll never forget how long it took me to breathe again. How long it took me to speak again. King, I love you.
Love you too, solidarity.
I love you, Trayon. See, if it wasn't for all of you, I don't even know if I would even be here. My son was shot many times. Many times. I'm standing back.
That hit my core and I'd have been lawyer. That's all you've been here.
My son was shot many times. And I thought I knew how many times he was shot.
Hey, y'all. Be quiet, she's talking, be quiet.
All right, you guys.
I thought I counted how many times my son was shot. I counted on the front of his body. I didn't turn his body over to see what happened to the back of his body. So Officer Grunhauser.
Okay. Nice.
Listen, my son was just shot many times, just as many times he was shot in the front. He was shot in the back. Police officer emptied a shotgun in the back of him, shot him 5 times. I never thought I'd get over this, and I still haven't gotten over it. It'll never go away. What I'd like you all to know, though, is that his case been investigated, reinvestigated by independent investigators. And they were ruled, thank you, they ruled that those police had wronged my son, violating his 4th and 14th Amendment right. A lawsuit was filed 2 weeks ago, wrongful death. I'm not stopping. I don't care if I don't get justice. I'm not stopping till we all get it. Let you all know, I love you all from the bottom of my heart. All of you that held us up, because we couldn't have held up without you all. Thank you all. Love you.
Love you.
Thank you, Ms. Ann. We will now have the uncle of Oscar Grant, who came all the way from California to join us this evening to be with the rest of our families and to fight in solidarity. And they've been traveling back and forth when we had the trial for Daunte Wright, him and his wife, Auntie B, came here to stand in solidarity with Daunte Wright's family. So we will have, I call him Uncle Bobby, the uncle of Oscar Grant.
Hello, family. Yes, I am affectionately known to the community as Uncle Bobby and Uncle of Oscar Grant.
All right.
You know, and before I start, I want to acknowledge Deborah Watts, who is the family of Emmett Till. You know, we must never forget Emmett Till and all those that was killed by this heinous system that is all under one umbrella, which is state violence, whether it's community, police, racism, you name it. But for those who may not know Oscar Grant, January 1st, 2009 in Oakland, California, he was killed by the Oakland Police Department. There was a movie that came out called Fruitvale Station. How many of you actually seen the movie Fruitvale Station? So most of you seem to know the story, so I don't have to really go into the story. But what I want you to know is this. Like Emmett Till was a flashpoint of the civil rights movement, Oscar is a flashpoint of the Black Lives Matter movement. Preach. What happened to George Floyd happened to Oscar Grant. That knee on the neck. Listen. Yes. You know, that's training that these United States police go over to Israel to get. Yeah. So that knee on Oscar Grant's neck was the same knee on George's neck. Not minimizing what happened to George, of course, because that was heinous to watch Officer Chauvin with his hands in his pocket choking him out. But Tony Peroni not only had his knee on Oscar Grant's neck, but he put his hand on his face and he cracked the bones in his face, putting the pressure on it. He inflicted major pain. Oscar, as you know, was shot by a police officer that claimed weapon confusion, the same as Kim Potter. That's right. So what I'm saying is that a lot of this repeats itself if we fail to analyze each killing so that we can extract from that where we must go to make sure it doesn't happen again. That part. And I'm going to end it pretty much with this. It was a community that embraced us, loved on us, prayed with us, went back and forth to court with us, stood with us, but most importantly shouted out, I am Oscar Grant. I am George Floyd. You hear what I'm saying? I am Daunte Wright. We could go Jamar Clark, Philando Castile. The community loved on us, empowered us to have the ability to stand, to speak justice or speak power to the injustice what happened to Oscar, and we got for the first time in California state history an officer arrested, charged, convicted, and sent to jail. That's right. And like Deborah, the Emmett Till family, never giving up and pursuing to get justice, we just got our case reopened 13 years later. The Attorney General of California, has reopened our case to do a thorough investigation because Tony Peroni, as you know, was the culprit and the reason why Oscar was murdered, even though Johannes Mesley pulled the trigger. So the point is this. If there's officers there, not only the one that did the murder, but those others that were sitting there watching is just as guilty. So we never give up. Let Oscar represent that no matter what. Let Emmett Till represent no matter what. You never stop pursuing justice. Sometimes it's going to be hard. Sometimes you'll be alone. But never stop. We've been at this 13 years and our case has just been reopened. You hear what I'm saying? So I'll pin it there. Much love to all of you. This injustice is happening all across this country. So let's all unite ourselves and speak with one voice, because when we speak with one voice, it's undeniable there's heinous act of police violence in this country. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, now we will have the family of Paul Castaway, who was killed in Colorado, and they've been out here standing in solidarity with the rest of our families, and they're just wonderful. They're a Native family, so we know these guys come here and stole their country from them and brutalized these wonderful, beautiful people, and we just love them, and they're here to speak with us. The family of Paul Castaway, thank you.
I just have to add one thing.
as well, that they are voted cutest couple ever. I just wanted to let it go. So give it up again, please. Give it up again.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
All right, thank you guys. My name is Gabriel Black Elk. I am the brother of Paul Castaway, who was murdered by the Denver police in Colorado on July 12, 2015 during a mental health crisis. And I've been, I had my boots to the motherfucking ground. I didn't mean to come and reside here. I was on my way to New York, and I was on my way back to Colorado, and I stopped here. And I love the protest scene here. I love the activism here because it's alive. And we want to thank, we want to thank the community, the protesters who are out there, because you guys are the ones that teaches us how to walk. We follow you guys while you guys are following us.
That's right.
So it's a whole circle. But yeah, I just want to come up here and let you guys know that my mom also wants me to take over on the case. It's been 6 years for us, and we're going to be. My mom already went through depots, so we're already we're at the point of either getting either a settlement or a court date. So if I take over, that's where my fight's going to be next. So, like I said, thank you guys. This gathering here is important for the justice families because it brings us closer. It brings us a little bit closer. It brings out the ones that's been hiding in the dark for a long time. And it's, this is what's needed. So we thank you guys. And one more time before I go, fuck 12. 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 Thank you guys. Thank you.
Uncle Bobby also wants to tell you guys about a conference that they do every year. But I also want beautiful Deborah Watts, who has been fighting with our families as well, to come and say a few words, because her favorite word is, and I know I'm going to slaughter it, but her favorite word is the past is not past. Okay, I'm going to let you say that. Until justice is served. So look, Deborah said, let me go up here with this girl. And then we're going to have Oscar Grant give an announcement as well. And we have one more who I consider a family because his eye was shot out while he was peacefully protesting for George Floyd, Soren Stevenson as well. She's going to give y'all a real quote.
First of all, giving honor to those that brought me this far, and that is my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And for any, that's right. And for any of the others that have faith, just know that it's a faith walk to do what we do as families, and it's also a faith walk when those, can you hear me? No, stop working. Can't hear me? That's okay. When you all join us on the march towards justice, this journey for justice for Emmett Till's justice started in 1955. We continue, it's 67 years. I hope none of you have to have that kind of story to tell, but just best believe that from Mississippi, which is here, to Mississippi and all across the country, we are still fighting for justice. Yes. So I just love all the other families. I give honor to all of you. This bond is one that cannot be broken. Unfortunately, it's a sorority and a fraternity that no one wants to belong to. You shouldn't want to belong to it. So just know that the past is not past until justice is served. And I just want to say that we're still fighting for justice for Emmett Till. Just watch us around the country and those that join us at Emmett Till Legacy Foundation. Also, there's a movie that's coming out called Till. I want you to see that. That's coming out October 7th. And we are still fighting. So when the anti-lynching bill was passed, just know that still did not bring justice for Emmett Till, right? So anti-lynching does not equal justice for Emmett. Of course, we're excited about it. And then what President Biden just signed, I don't know what that's going to do. It's not going to bring our loved ones back. But anyway, I just want to say I love you all. I appreciate what you've done to Shara, the George Floyd family as well, and all the blood that's been shed, y'all. All the blood that's been shed. We cannot forget it. Never forget Oscar Grant. Never forget Justin Peterson. Never forget George Floyd. Never forget. I know I'm going to probably miss some names here. But at any rate, just know that our tears, that as we walk in our tears, our pain equals our passion and hopefully leads to our purpose. Yes. So God bless you all. Thank you so much. Thank you.
We will have let Oscar Grant, Uncle Bobby, just give the announcement really quick, and then we do have the uncle of Hardel Sherrell that I want to say a few words because he's been out here fighting tough. But here you go for the announcement.
Oh, hello again, Gabriel. Could you show all the families the shirt? So our organization, Love Not Blood Campaign, have a campaign called Families United for Justice, right? And what we do is we put on conferences every year. And so last year in September, October, September, Tashara came and many, Gabriel and them came and other families from Minnesota. But we invite families from all across the country to come to this healing conference where you will meet families from all across this country. In San Diego, we had 325 families together, workshops. So I'm making the announcement to all the families that may not have heard or is interested in coming. We'll be sending out emails soon. The location this year is going to be Atlanta. That's right. And what we do is that we raise the funds to bring as many families as we can for 3 days. Accommodations paid, airline flights are paid, or gas fees are paid, whatever it is, so that all you have to do is show up and just be loved on. And to love someone who is in that pain where you was once at, because we heal each other. That's what this is about. So look forward to it this year in Atlanta between September 30th and October 3rd, around that time period we will have this. And Gabriel, I'm sure Tashara will be reaching out to the families here in Minnesota. All of you are welcome. You know, we do this for all the families that we could possibly can. You know, of course it costs money, but we raise the funds to do this so you don't have to spend a dime. Okay? So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Uncle Bobby. So we'll be reaching out to the families for that. Now, I want to have my brother, I'm gonna have my brother here, Trayhorn. It has been a struggle this past year because as we can tell, and we have to be transparent and honest, it has been a struggle, like as far as keeping the movement going, keeping numbers up. But my brother Trayhorn has come alongside, and he has been one of the lead organizers, organizing these protests and making sure that our family's names stay alive, and just keeping his boots on the ground. I remember during the time of Daunte Wright's trial, it was a real life struggle to get people to really show up. And my brother here, he was like, sis, I will help you. And he helped me organize those protests when it was blistering cold out. And we would be standing out there with our feet. My feet would be burning, my toes would be burning. But my brother would be out there making sure that we had a rally each and every week. So I just want to thank my brother Trayhorn, tell him how much I love him, and he's also the uncle of Hardel Sherrell, who suffered on the floor in Beltrami jail. They let this man die on the floor. They would not give him the adequate medical treatment that he needed because they don't have value for black man lives. So here's my brother Trayhorn. His favorite phrase is Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Trayhorn Cruz. Thank you.
No doubt.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
No racist.
Police.
And we're here today to honor the movement and the people who make up the movement. So the families are here to say thank you to the people of Minneapolis, the people of St. Paul, the people of Minnesota for standing up and demanding justice and cultivating change in an appetite for justice and accountability in the state of Minnesota when it comes to police accountability. I know sometimes it's rough for us in the movement, but before Hardel died, I was part of the movement. And if I wasn't part of the movement before that, we wouldn't have known what to do. But I knew what to do because I seen what happened to Jamar Clark. And I seen what the police did and how they tried to cover it up. I seen what happened to Philando and how the police responded and how they tried to cover it up. I seen what happened to Thurman Blevins and how the police responded and tried to cover it up. I seen what happened to Matilda Smith, to Jaffort Smith. That broke us apart for a little bit. Because some of us knew that the police was lying and others of us believed the police narrative. But now, today, we know who was telling the truth and who was lying. And we know about the art of the cover-up because we've experienced it historically. So we just want to thank you. I know sometimes we have our differences in the movement, but here in Minnesota, we're a big family and we come together to hold white supremacists and police accountable who steal our loved ones.
Absolutely.
No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
Also, just real quick, I just want to re-go what Mr. Grant or Uncle Bobby was saying. Even if you didn't get justice yet, like the family of Amir Locke, don't give up.
Don't give up.
Winston Smith, don't give up. Jamar Clark, all of us, Kobe Heisman, don't give up. It's been 4 years and we still haven't received justice for Hardel. However, we expect justice and are demanding accountability. No justice?
No peace.
No justice?
No peace.
Thank you. God bless you all. And God bless the sheriff for putting this together and bringing us together.
Again, we're going to have my brother Soren, who was peacefully standing up for George Floyd's life when they shot his eyeball, shot him in his eye. And this man has been fighting with our families. He shows up for our families. He's at damn near every event for our families, and we just love him to death. Soren Stevenson.
Hey y'all. So, first of all, the movement is the reason why I can show up to the events, the reason why I can keep going on in life. It's something being a white man and also being a little more visible icon in the Black Lives Matter movement. That's a little bit of a mind fuck.
Tell them.
But the only reason that I was able to make sense of my place in the world and my new place in the world is because of the movement, because I know that the people here are my family and that they love me and that I love them, even though I don't know most of your names. And I'm bad with names, so I will never know most. And I just wanted to echo again what Uncle of Oscar Grant said. the people standing next to the people that did the things to our families, to me, are also guilty as hell, because I was shot by a man named Benjamin Bauer. He's still a police officer on the Minneapolis Police Department, no discipline. And the man standing next to him murdered Amir Locke. So we know these officers standing there right next to each other, doing this shit to our communities. They're murderers in waiting. And Benjamin Bauer, he's gonna kill someone. It's a matter of time. They don't get him off the force, he's gonna murder somebody. Because his friend did. His friend saw what he did, he one-upped him. And now his friends, got no discipline either. So that's the truth, Austrian Grand Uncle. So anyways, this is supposed to be a happy event. The movement is what's keeping me going, and I love you all so much.
All right, look at you, be nice. All right, so this is the aunt of George Floyd, Miss Angela. Good evening, everyone.
You gotta be careful of the
Don't even touch.
Don't even touch. It will fall apart, literally.
It already hurt somebody today.
We're glad to be here. We had to come. I was thinking about yesterday. It was so beautiful. You see the installation and you see everyone there and the candlelight vigil. It's getting to the point that you guys are just outdoing yourselves. And so I'm just so proud of this community. And I have quite a few of my family here. There's some more family coming in. But I'm gonna have them say a few words and pass the mic and have them tell you who they are.
Good evening, I'm Harriet Jones. I'm George Floyd's aunt. And I would like to say that I'm glad to be here with y'all this evening. I just walked in, but I'm glad to be here. And I appreciate every last one of y'all for this moment. And I'd like to also say these couple words.
Watch the podium. No podium.
Unity is very important. As human beings, we must keep sharing the joy of love between one another and coming together, and also keep standing tall and keep standing strong and standing together. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm George Floyd's aunt. From the top tier, the older. And I just want to say tonight that it's good to be here, to have life, to even be alive. And I thank God for this privilege and a pleasure. Because you didn't have to be here, but you are here, and that means a lot. And I don't care if it's no more than 10 people, so many million, it does not matter. Because life is so precious. And sometimes things happen you really don't know why. But we're not in control. God is in control.
Listen!
We don't understand, but he does not care, because before we were even born, he knew what we were going to be, what we're going to go through. And it's a good thing it's like that, because if I knew my time was limited, I don't know what I would do. But that's right. That's right. And another small thing is when the doctor say, there's nothing else we could do. Now George Floyd, he didn't know any of this. He was laughing and talking and going on, but he did not know. But look what happened. But you know what? I'm thankful. And I just want to sing a little tune with Thank You, Lord.
Yes, Lord.
I'm saying thank you, Lord, but I'm saying thank you to y'all. I said y'all because I'm from the country.
That's right.
Hey, you, Lord.
Indeed.
Hey, you, Lord.
Indeed.
I'm singing.
All right.
You, Lord. I just want to thank you, Lord. One more time. I said you've been so good. You've been so good.
Indeed.
I said you've been so good. And I just want to thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
Love you, Miss Perry.
Love you too. Good evening. And it was so perfect. Thank you, Lord. This is my mother. So I have the pleasure of hearing her sing all of my life. And it's been a blessing. Just as well as you all are a blessing. You didn't have to be here today, but you are here, and we thank you. Families supporting families, we support you, and we thank you for supporting us. It's very challenging at times. We know that, feeling alone when no one else is there in your home with you, but you're not alone. There are so many people that have lost someone, and it's a commonality. And George Floyd Square is a commonality for everyone. So we just thank you. Keep doing what you're doing. Tashira, thank you for putting this all together.
Yeah. Yeah, Tashira.
This is really wonderful. And it takes a lot of work, and I know you've had a lot of help with this. But we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We are families supporting each other. So let's continue.
Hallelujah.
Look at you.
Let me move this to the side.
Watch the podium.
I was going to make it.
That was good. That was the move for tonight. I liked it.
Good evening again, everybody. I am George Floyd's cousin. I don't know, I've been speechless since yesterday because I didn't really know what to expect. I think for me what's been most impactful is seeing all of y'all come together still after 2 years later. What I was expressing to them earlier was that sometimes when things happen, you know, there's so much momentum and people are like, yeah, we care, we're here to support, but as time progresses, you know, it dies down and people slowly start to forget. But it was really, it was beautiful to see that y'all still care and y'all have not forgotten about the moment. Y'all will never forget about what has happened. And I'm honored to be here and to be amongst other people who are also here to support and to provide love and care for each other who are continuously going through the grieving process of losing someone. So thank y'all for having us here tonight, and you know, my prayers and love are with all of you all. Thank you.
Hello, I'm
cousin. And I just want to say God bless each and every one of you for the love and the support. And we love you. Just keep loving each other and standing strong in unity. Thank you.
How y'all doing? I am the George Floyd's oldest aunt, which is all of my aunts, my cousin, my wife. It's my beautiful daughter right there, Uncle Vince, cousin Sean. We not only did my cousin Death, bring like a whole nation together for a reason, because they understand that it was all about the love. But he also brought our family together. Our family is very close. Indeed. As you see, we stick together, and that's what family's supposed to do. So. I encourage all y'all to as families and friends, to stick together and love one another and support one another. And we appreciate the love and support, man, that everybody is giving. And God bless all of y'all.
How you doing? I'm Sean. I'm George, first cousin. I'm glad y'all came out and supported us. And I'm glad y'all showing support, and it's a blessing that y'all are here. And I don't want to talk too long, because I'm not a public speaker, I'm shy, you know what I mean? So I'm just happy y'all showed up for love, I love all y'all for showing up.
Much love.
I'm Vince Helson, and I'm one of the many uncles in this family. Angela's my lovely wife. And I just want to say that, and I heard this said at a previous engagement before, and the words stick in my mind when I come to gatherings like this. This is not a club you want to be a part of.
Big facts.
Brothers and sisters in here that have lost brothers, fathers, aunts, uncles, grandpas, grandmas, nieces. I mean, the list goes on. And this should be a club that should be shrinking, not growing. Right. This should be a room with maybe only 2 or 3 people in it. And it wants to overflow. I just want to say thank you all for the desire to fellowship together, because that's what makes us all stronger. Because we can't do this alone. We cannot necessarily grieve alone, but we also can't progress alone. We can't make that change happen on our own. We've got to come together. We all got to raise our voices together to make something happen in this country, in this city, in this world even. I mean, the reason that people relate to what has happened to George Perry Floyd is because they saw themselves, they saw their brothers, they saw their fathers in that 9 minutes and 29 seconds. They saw their fathers' lives going away. And this is something that's universal. People are getting tired of getting beat down. We need to stand up. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to shut up.
Thank you. Give George Floyd wonderful family a round of applause.